What the heck is the Aviation Marketing Lab?
Many things.
Exactly. A lot of people ask us that because it is kind of an unusual concept, and we wanted to do a real quick explainer about what the Aviation Marketing Lab is, why we put it together, and why it is probably the best investment for small to medium-sized aviation companies and individual sales and marketing professionals in the aviation industry, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually exceeded my expectations.
Really?
Yes.
Your expectations are hard to exceed. So I'm Paula Williams.
I'm John Williams.
And we are ABCI. And ABCI's mission is?
To help all you folks out there in the aviation world sell more products and services.
Absolutely. So we started as a consulting company that specialized in copywriting for aviation. What we discovered as we started working with aviation companies is that they needed more than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They needed a lot more than that in a lot of cases. And in a lot of cases, they didn't really have the margins to do the kind of marketing that we learned at Wells Fargo and Pearson Education and a lot of the bigger companies that we've worked with. So what we've tried to do is put together something that brings those kinds of tools and technologies and economies of scale and mastermind groups and really cool things that exist in other industries and bring them to aviation.
Yeah, so everybody that is a member of our lab gets to benefit from all that stuff.
Exactly. So we're going to put prices on all of this stuff eventually, but just to give you a feel for what's in the Aviation Marketing Lab, and then we'll talk about each of these things individually as we go forward. But there are lots of tools and software that are included in the lab because we have the economies of scale to provide those, or at least provide the benefit of those things in our consultations to our members.
Exactly.
As well as a lot of other things like networking opportunities, having a private Facebook group, quarterly office hours, monthly projects, and other things. So it really takes you to the next level in your sales or marketing career, or helps you get to the next level for your company's team. In a lot of cases, we have companies that have 3 or more members as members of the marketing lab, and it really helps their whole team get to the next level, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So if you're ever at a marketing event and you see this dapper gentleman or anybody else wearing a pin that looks like this, this is our insider circle, and you'll notice on there is a 1%, and I'll zoom in on that just a little bit. A 1% on there, and it's really, really tiny. But only about 1% of the business aviation sales and marketing professionals will ever be part of our group. That's what we've determined. That gives us still a pretty big market.
Oh yeah.
But we are very particular about who is part of this because we're really attached to all of these people, and we like the chemistry.
Well, we mix them up. We mix up all our clients in one big room, a virtual room.
Right. And we're fortunate enough to be at a point in our company where we don't have to work with anybody. In particular, we don't have to take clients, just because of the money. We also want to make sure that they're a really good fit with us, that we enjoy working with them, and that they're going to enjoy our other clients. Because life is too short, and aviation is too small a community to have anyone that isn't a good fit and that doesn't play well with others, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So the first thing that happens if you're new to our group is you get the New Here brochure, and also you get the New Here consultation where we go through the Insider's Manifesto. These are the things that are different about the kind of marketing that we do versus a lot of the things that you'll see out there. There's no fly-by-night tricks. There's no dishonesty. There's nothing that you would not be proud to have represent you or your company.
As a matter of fact, if we suggest to recommend something, it's because we've already tried it and know it works.
Exactly. So that's a really nice kickoff, that consultation and that Insider's New Here situation. So one other thing that you're going to see in your first few days with us is Basecamp. This is a piece of software that I've used personally for more than 10 years. In one capacity or another, and I could not live without it. It really does help you keep track of all of the things that you need to do, prioritize things, work well with a group, collaborate on projects, store your files, keep everything orderly-ish, and so on. So each of our insiders has their own Basecamp instance or Basecamp project that they can invite people from their team or their company. They can store their own files in here. They can keep their own to-do lists in addition to the things that they're working on with us and collaborating
The only
on.
people that have access to it are those they suggest or want.
Right.
Including us.
Right. So you'll have John, me, Kathy, and anybody else that you want from your company.
Right.
And that's really all that is here. So we have a nice confidential place to work and have discussions and everything else. And you'll also have a nice checklist that says, you'll notice in the to-dos, that start here, schedule your office hours, log into the VIP lounge, aka our Facebook group, get logged into the Aviation Sales Basics course. So it helps you really get the most out of the program with these checklists and keep things organized.
As far as we know, it's unlimited as far as data space.
They say it's unlimited. I'd love to have you help us test that theory, right?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
That's okay. They say it's unlimited. We would love to have you help us test that theory, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, we're paying for it. We might as well use it. Another thing that we use that we really love is SEMrush. And this is a digital marketing toolkit. They call it an all-in-one marketing toolkit for digital marketing professionals. And it includes things like SEO. This is the best way to solve an SEO puzzle that I have ever seen. In fact, we've gotten results that have surpassed any of the SEO companies that we've worked with.
That's
we've worked
correct.
with a bunch of
we have paid a lot of money to SEO companies that guaranteed us, and it didn't work. But we got there using this.
Exactly. So this really helps us pinpoint, because one SEO problem may have a completely different solution than another SEO problem. And throwing the same solutions like backlinks or more content or whatever into a situation may not solve the problem, and it may just be a lot of wasted time and energy.
And this thing does a complete analysis.
Right. Which is great. So the SEO is really good. It also has some really nice social media tools that will tell you who else is in your space with social media accounts and how yours stacks up to theirs.
And you can put, 3 known competitors in there for comparison purposes?
Yep, 3 known competitors, actually 4 known competitors, and see where you stack up based on a number of different criteria. So then you get reports from SEMrush every month. You don't have to learn all of these tools because basically you ask the questions, we use the tools to find you the answers, right?
Yep.
Okay. And same thing with Basecamp. We give you a guided tour. We help you do everything that you need to do with that. We're not successful until you are comfortable and solving your problems.
The world's problems.
Exactly. Right. Okay. This is another tool that I really enjoy. This just makes me gleeful to see some of the visits on our clients' websites, especially when they've got a top 10 list of their most wanted customers, and then they see someone from one of their top 10 lists visit their website, and they get to see which pages they visited and how long they spent on each of those pages and all of those things. So that gives us some really inside information. Whether or not someone filled out a form on your website, someone was there.
And I believe, don't they also give as much information as possible about those that try to do it anonymously?
Right. So,
and I don't mean behind a firewall, but I mean, like when you start page, you can go look at a website anonymously. And it will not put a lot of your tracking data out there.
Right.
But this thing still realizes where you came from.
Right. And it won't tell you, for example, if John or I visited your website, you won't know whether it was John or me, but you will know
that we did.
That someone from ABCI visited your website.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I want to make sure we're clear on that. Don't have unrealistic expectations, but this is pretty magical. Right?
It's pretty magical.
Okay. Another thing is JetNet, which is probably the most respected name in market data in the aviation industry. Not everybody has a JetNet subscription. They are kind of pricey depending on what you have and what you need. But we are able to use it on behalf of our clients in their consultations and things like that, just to see the size of the market, see how many of a particular type of aircraft are out there, or maybe a different type of aircraft would be more popular.
And they'll even let us do a search and then use the data for postcards for clients.
Exactly. So a lot of the services that we do, we're able to use JetNet data under our terms of service with them to help our clients, exactly, and our lab members. Okay, another thing that I love is the book club. I've always loved books. I've always thought that this is the least expensive way to make mistakes, is to have somebody else do it and you read about it in a book, right? And we send actual books. These are not ebooks. As
opposed to virtual books?
As opposed to virtual books, right? John's into paper. He likes having the paper books. And a lot of our clients do as well. I do too. I like the smell of books and things like that. So far, most of our clients kind of prefer that. That's just the demographic that we're in. And we still send physical copies of books. And sometimes we even get signed copies of books signed by the author.
It's happened.
It has. And sometimes we get to interview the authors in our podcast after featuring a book in our book club. And our members read them everywhere, right?
Yes, they do.
This is Jeff Stadola. He's a fighter pilot and also in our book club. And hopefully he was the co-pilot
reading
at the moment while this was going on, which is great. We really enjoy seeing photos of where people like reading. This is actually our book club facilitator who took it to the gym, his boxing gym, and was reading between rounds or while he was recovering, or hopefully he wasn't reading while he's getting
knocked around.
Some people read on the treadmill. I personally don't. I prefer music, but whatever, to each his own. This is another one of our clients who is making us jealous with his location. And all of our clients end up with a bookcase looking like this after they've been with us for a while, because we do a different book every month and we talk about what is different between the scenarios that they're talking about in the book and the aviation industry. Because not everything applies to aviation.
Boy, does that true.
Right, some things will actually do you more harm than good. So that's one of the really cool ways that we get our members to interact with each other, and also to talk about things that have worked for them and not worked for them. So it's not just about theoretical situations in books. It comes down to reality. Okay, our VIP Lounge is our Facebook group where members talk to each other about books and about other things. People will submit maybe a pitch deck if they're doing a sales presentation for someone and they want someone to go over it with them. Those kinds of things, and people are fantastic about providing really solid, actionable information in that group.
Based on the problem you present them with.
Right, that's true. We do quarterly office hours, so once a quarter you'll be able to schedule an hour with us to talk about anything you want or need to talk about. And we have a list of possibilities. Some people like to role play their sales presentations. Some people like us to help them solve a marketing situation. We've got a competitor that's causing us problems, or we've got a mailing going out. We'd like to have you go over it. We'd like to plan a campaign for referrals, or something along those lines.
Well, which CRM should I buy?
Which CRM should I buy? That's one that we did recently. So all of those things are fair game for your office hours. We are at your service just as a marketing company would be, at a fraction of the cost, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Our Hall of Fame, this is where you get to meet our other members, because we sometimes do podcast interviews of our members and put those on our podcast. And then you get to learn a little bit more about them, and also how to make good referrals back and forth to each other, and joint ventures and other things that come out of those associations.
And if you decide to go to the MBAA, we always have a breakfast for those members that show up at MBAA and get to know each other.
Exactly. And some of our other events, some of our members go and some don't. So, some of the Women in Aviation events or regional MBAAs and things like that, there will be 2 or more members that go, and then they meet for coffee and catch up.
This one is sponsored by us, though.
Exactly. And we buy you breakfast, which is the most important meal of the day. And at NBAA, it's really important to have a nice kickoff and, you know, start with some friendly faces and some good networking, right? Okay. So really cool people. We really enjoy them.
And in fact, if you join between now, we have NBA coming up again in Vegas, and we will be buying breakfast there.
Exactly. And we also go see our clients too, as many of our members as we can on the route to a lot of these events. Okay, so here we tried to dollarize the value. If you need to convince your boss or someone else that this is a good investment, this is the slide you want to show them, right?
Right.
So JetNet Evolution, which is one of the least expensive JetNet products, if you were to get a subscription to that, is $375 a month. Basecamp is $99 a month. SEO reports are $99.95 a month. Lead feeder is $53 a month. The book club, about $30 a month, depending on the book. You know, maybe a little bit less than that. So, of those blue things, right, we have a total of $656.96 per month in value that you're getting for that. The red things, we've got networking opportunities, the private group, the quarterly office hours, and monthly projects. Those things are priceless, meaning, number one, they're priceless, but also that it's really hard to put a dollar value on each of them. So we don't include those in the calculation. But even if you just looked at the $656.96 versus $279 a month, which is your investment is only $279. We did our darndest to bring the cost down to something that's manageable to just about any serious professional. This is what you would pay for dues for any other professional organization or training program, things like that. So it's comparable to a lot of those things like it's actually a lot less than BNI and, you know, some other things that are not specialized in aviation.
Right.
All right. So it is a really great investment. We would love to send you one of these pins and welcome you to our group and have you become one of us. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to talk with you. You're welcome to give us a call or schedule a consultation and talk about the group, or go ahead and sign up. It is absolutely guaranteed. If you are not a good fit, we will have that conversation pretty quickly and refund your money cheerfully and send you on your way with no harm done, right? But it is absolutely the very best investment. If you are not a member of our group, you really should be if you're in sales or marketing in the aviation industry, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day.